Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town, Angeles City Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride around Angeles City till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back, horse tack is attached. Hat is matted black, got the boots that's black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your trike. I've been in the valley of Angeles City, you ain't been up off the porch now. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, leaning with a red horse, beer cheated on my baby. You can go and ask her. My life is a movie, Wrangler on my booty. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town, Angeles City Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride around Angeles City till I can't no more. Whoa.
Hey. It would be morning for the most of those that are watching us in the United States. Magadam ho, good morning, good evening. Um, Let me get something. Heck, I can't even say. Actually, I'm not even going to bother to even run that. Okay, so, all right, guys, it is almost 5 minutes till 9 at night here in the Philippines. And in the last few hours, there has been some updates in regards to our friend Sim um, from Pro Life Traveler. First off, I want to let you guys know that not only do we have live footage from just a few hours ago of his actual arrest, we also have what's shocking but not unshocking to find out about this vlogger, Pro Life Sim. And we have footage. So they ran a live, but it looks like they ran an actual video. And we have him in the back of a police car. So it was very nice of them to put him back there, but he did lawyer up. But we're going to let you guys decide actually different things. In other words, with the multiple alleged possible charges coming and different things coming, it's hard to say if he'll even leave where he's at. Maybe with an attorney, he might be able to. But the footage will be unforgettable of the look on his face. Let me just say he was scared as shit. I mean, so much so he's grabbing on to the officer like he does all those girls. So hold on for that footage there. And so, yeah. And Saturday, some of the girls, we have at least one that is going to come on our Saturday live and discuss the situation where, like, she didn't know he was married and all of that. And she's got all kinds of stuff, like creepy stuff he was doing. But now the Filipinas are coming forward, and a lot of Filipinos are absolutely disgusted, along with a bunch of us expats. So see what is going on, see who's actually in the house, let the room build up a little bit before I actually do this. Kay Dallas is in the house, and we don't get to see a lot of these people because it's rare that we do a live stream. Hey, SkyTech, what is going on? Good morning. And again, Kay Dallas is in the house. Second Wind, hey, what is going on? Jello, yeah, help, right? Help. You don't get no help. Not today. Not today. Let's get that a little darker. There we go. And we had SkyTech up there already. Hey, John, what is going on? Must be about to respond to that news article dude posted. I don't know about a response just because, you know what? Here's the other thing. Who's to say there's even a race? It's funny that every time a story comes out, it's kind of like, oh, so and so did that a while back. Okay, that's fine. We all do it different. This is all about updating my people, not his people, not the next people. It's for our regulars. It's to follow up on the story and everything. I'm sure, John, that there are like two or three others, but this all just happened in the last 2 3 hours. So if those dudes want to sit around watching YouTube all day, just up somebody's ass to get news, that's on them. This just happened to be sent to me by George. So, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course, we're going to go ahead and cover it. So, and we'll be covering it all the way through, as we said. We've done this before. Last time we covered in the evening like this on something that was dealing with expat was the Mindanao kidnapping. So, to me, for those that are saying, oh, what did he do wrong? Or what is this? Or what happened? And this, and that, it gets even deeper. So, and George was like, yeah, it didn't surprise me at all. It didn't surprise us at all. We said that the tax people are lining up. We said that the Bureau of Immigration is lining up, DSWD and the actual local like ordinances where they did a persona non grata. So if they weren't going to come and get him for that, they were coming for him for other things. So again, must say in the beginning, for all those that aren't familiar with the channel, this is a discussion. This isn't court. He still gets his day in court. He gets to go through all this, but the footage he kind of speaks for itself, and it's kind of where it is. Hey, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you're talking about Alex Abroad. We've done an interview on him. That man must never sleep. That man must be so high strung on coffee right now. It's unreal. I watched him and he's like this. He reminds me of Cash Patel. It's like every story he does, it's like, I'm like, what's up with this dude? It's like he's always doing this content. He used to do a bunch of walkabouts and we watched him forever, but he's been doing more Rafi Tulfos, getting more into the drama. He's been getting into the news, and the man's always putting content out on both of his channels. And I seen him, he was like this earlier today. I think it was this morning we seen where he put something out, and he's put like 6 7 8 videos out on this already. I could be exaggerating, 6 7 8. Maybe I'm wound up right now, but he did, and he's funny and he does put out good content. So maybe that's who you're talking about. But he is always like, da, 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 da. So funny. Screw the U.S. folks. Okay. Hey, I'm Canadian. I done switched nationalities last week. Hey, what's going on? Good evening, Dexter. Hello, good evening. They still not saying what he did. Philippines is so unfair towards foreigners and wonder why they're losing tourists. Why would you say that, Intech? Have you not watched any of this? Have you not watched his videos? Unfair of what? Have you not watched his videos? Unfair for what? You can't mention that you're going out to look for girls without bras. Pull that motherfucking shit in your country. Or are you Filipino and you're not woke up on this yet? Because if they pulled that shit in Europe somewhere or America or Canada, his ass would have been practically lynched. I'm telling you right now, try going in any neighborhood that I've ever been in and actually pull that shit where you're walking up putting cameras in young people's faces, offering vapes to kids, transporting drunk girls in the back of your car, asking them all their ages, and some are underage, and he mentions where their location is. Why do you think he was in a partial fortress before he was arrested? He mentioned it on his own here recently because there are people after him. Has nothing to do with trolls or people that have been covering this or anything else. What the hell are you even talking about? Wake up, man. They didn't say what he did. Well, I've got footage that's stating what he did. What are you even kidding me? He's a persona non grata for the way he's been calling Filipinos monkeys and making sounds and talking about shitting on their hands and touching bikes. It's everything. So obviously you're in here to be the other party. Then be the other party, dude. What the fuck? Got the right one here. They rarely say what's going on due to coming charges. Yeah, but they already called him persona non grata. What do you mean? He's saying not the charges, but what he did. I'll tell you exactly one of the charges that are up and coming. Hey, Hurley, what's going on? I see. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm just saying they will make it worse going forward for the foreigners. Not really. You realize how long foreigners have been coming in here and being creepy colonizers on these Filipino women with their wallets? It's been going on for a long time. This whole situation of getting their rocks off and controlling these women and doing the shit that they're doing is catching up to these guys. And this vlogging that these guys are doing is going to cease very soon. And that's if the Philippines actually gets to it. But it looks like they caught up on this guy. So it's just where it actually is. Hey, what's going on, Guzman? What is actually going on? Hey, McLovin is in the actual house. The famous Amos. Okay, well, we're going to get this going here in a little bit. Thank you so much, Hurley Johnson. Thank you so much. Expats are gang talking this guy or gang stalking. Yeah, I hear you. All right, guys. So I'm going to play this through. We'll probably talk in between a little bit, but what you're going to see is some actual footage, and then there's a live stream footage afterwards. And it just goes. And I will let you know this is just a few hours ago at dusk. So this isn't, I don't want to hear that this is old footage and all this. No, because I don't want to call him congressman. He is a councilman that we showed you earlier today. Actually had this footage, and so did some Dumaguete newspapers. So this is just in the last few hours, and then we have the live stream of it. Look who's knocking on his door. Immigration. Surprise, surprise. Immigration came for him. Wonderful. Can anybody guess why? And for those that have been going around saying that his wife took off, he gave her a plane ticket, or she's on the run. No, she's still there. She was just probably hiding in a bedroom during all of that. So, and look who's here. Surprise, surprise, immigration. I told you that immigration was coming for him. The BIR is going to be looking for him over taxes, and it's just going to go from there. So it's just going to go from there. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're smart as hell, because what they're going to do is they're going to do what they did to what's his name. They're going to hold him in immigration. I'd be surprised if his high power attorney gets him out of sitting in a cell. Vitelli didn't, and he's got way more money than this guy. Didn't get him out, did they? So they're not going to let him go based on this, and they're going to stack the charges on him probably. So anybody want to guess why immigration is there?
From Cebu, Region 7.
I understand that about the persona non grata, that it doesn't hold, but I'll tell you what, they got him now. I get it's symbolic. Whole point is he's on the run. Look at him. Look at him. Scared as shit. And there he is, grabbing on to people. And there's his wife. She didn't go nowhere.
Held against you. And you have the right to a lawyer, and if you don't have one, the government will provide for you. Okay?
So they're going to start and stack stuff is what they'll do.
More big served dismission order for the violation of the Philippine Immigration Act of 1940 for violations of your conditions of stay.
Shouldn't be.
I'm overstayed.
Don't see that it's frozen.
Yeah, that's one.
I'm freezing it. There you go, Hurley.
I have a airplane ticket to Manila today.
Okay.
Today?
Yeah, 8:40. So
Okay,
I was planning to go to the.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sure he is. Yeah, so it's just a repeat of that. All right, so this is going to be live footage. So I believe that's where they would transport, is from Cebu, and he said he was going to be heading in. So yes, he's an overstayer. He's an overstayer on top of that. So will he get in and just pay his overstay and they're going to turn him loose? Who's to say? Who's to say? But you know that's why they did it, was to get him in there. And then they'll hold him there until the investigation's over. He'll be lucky to get out. Right?
Republic Act 9995 or the Voyeurism Act. So karon dad-on ni siya dito sa kauluhan.
So now they're
Okay,
doing.
live kita karon diri sa Pinoy
Sorry,
Anan ni Sim.
I got this footage at the last
Sipo.
moment recording it. So
Sa kay-
so they already went through once, which was what, just a few days ago, and they went and took his stuff out. Well, if he was so innocent and there was nothing wrong, they wouldn't be back. Well, one, he's an overstayer. Surprise, surprise. And George was like, "Yeah, what's up with that?" And then the next part is they're coming back in for more stuff for another reason. So now they're going to go back through his house all over again and look for more stuff. Anti-voyeurism, they'll just go down the list. But the whole deal is I'd be really surprised if they let him go from the position that he's in.
national diin netong the other day dirita ko yung giserve ang search warrant gikan sa korte in relation to a complaint from a citizen of Dumaguete katong Republic Act 9995 or the Voyeurism Act diin kining national si Sim aduna siya mga post sa social media nga hubad ang mga babae o niya aduna to uban pang mga violations. And then atong City Council kagahapon during the regular session declared Sim as a persona non grata. Karon ang matinugyanan gikan sa Bureau
It's
of
more
Immigration
than
sa
that,
region of sa
Alexander.
national.
More than just the
Serbi kini
camera.
sa usa ka nang giserbi nato sir? Mission order. For declaring Sim as an undesirable alien. So adunay among administrative ni kay ang expired naman ang visa January 6.
Anti-voyeurism, they're calling him now an undesirable. So it's no longer just persona non grata, same thing, undesirable. I get they're not the same. Let's not be technical on this situation. They're going to get him out of the country, and he'll be lucky if they just put him on a plane and let him go. But it's just not one thing, it's multi things. He's running multi Facebooks, multi TikToks that are bringing in money. He's collecting money. I'm sure 100%, he's untaxed with the Philippines. He's been living here for a couple years. He's probably not licensed to run his YouTube channel and collect money. He's handing out things to people all the time. There's girls' complaints. They're saying one complaint here, but there are multi complaints. They're going by one that is very solid, and it'll just go from there. But for those that say, just for, as you're saying, I'm trying to figure out on the just over a camera, that's not what it is. Would you want this guy walking through your streets in any country looking for girls with no brawls and approaching anybody of any age? Oh, you're only 14. Oh, you're only 18. That's not it. You got to look at the entire picture for the last couple years. He puts his hands on every single one. He's been letting them vape. He's been calling people monkeys and names and degrading people, Filipinos in the street, and that is enough to get you kicked out of the country, let alone the things that he's been doing on the side. He's been meeting up with women on dating sites. Sure, there's no crime in that. Considering he's married, I don't know what his wife was thinking. And it just goes from there. If anybody watched it earlier, there's no sense. If I have to explain it, it's out there.
So karon dad-on ni siya dito sa kauluhan. Ipaabot pa kay basig makaabot pa ta sa eroplano karong hapon. Moderitso na sila dito adto niya ni kini atubangon nga problema. Ato na hinabi kay ganiya si Mr. Matugas ang Region 7 pa imo sir, Region 7. Okay. Region 7 no kay NIR man gud ang Negros Oriental. Siya mo ay hepe. Nga kuyog niya ang mga ahente sa BI, Bureau of Immigration. O kining duha ka mga ang kuyog gikan po ni sa kauluhan. So sa pagkakaroon nagpaabot ta sa subject alang sa pa-blatter nini sa dili pa kini dadon dito sa kauluhan sakay sa eroplano. Nahimutan kini sa Upper Cantili Barangay or Upper Barangay Cantili diri sa Barangay Bahom Pandan. Kini nga Pinoy-anan gi panag-iya sa usa ka Australiano nya giabangan ni ining Estonia National. Wala pa 1 year siguro ni sila diri. Nya trabaho ni usa ka vlogger. So atol ni atong gi-serve na itong warrant ako na recover ang mga peripherals. Ano na mga GoPro, mga camera,
they're
cellphone.
saying they had already got through and took his stuff. And then they returned. So maybe they found something. I can't imagine that they didn't, considering they returned and everything else.
Kita na sa mga damgo.
He has, let me let you know for those that missed earlier, and I can play back some of the footage. The channels that he has on TikTok are way more shocking than YouTube. Okay, he meets up with girls that have their luggage. He meets these girls online. He records them. He does other things. There's lots of stories out there. You guys go find it. I can't even play that stuff. But he's got one dealing with province girls. He's got another one that he calls, I'll have to pull it up, but they're a trip. They're all dealing with peddling and pushing the Filipinas, and it's just unreal. It really is unreal. He knew what he was doing. And he's been given fair warning. People have contacted us and left messages in our comments saying they've been warning him, hey, dude, curve it up, clean it up, do this. So he's had a fair warning. He's been removing. He's been preparing. He's not shocked or surprised. He's nervous as fuck, but he is not shocked by this in any means, because he knew it was coming. He was pushing his limits to the very end. Look at all the socks he had. He wants to take those socks with him.
You cannot use that phone all the time. We have a safekeeping.
Yes, I feel bad for his wife and kids, most definitely. But she shouldn't be shocked, considering people were sending vast amount of money for nothing. Couple $100 at a time, charging $20 to talk to her on camera. She's not an immigration helper. He was pimping everybody, bottom line. He, in the past, there's a guy that's been following him, Melon, that's been following him for about 2 years. And about a year ago, they thought they were going to nab him, but they didn't. Where's all the cards from? Oh, that's just stuff out of his wallet. Why has he got so many? Looks like all different credit cards, by the way, guys. I guess he's got it going on there. I would say she's complicit, because she's walked through the slums. Hey, today we're going back to the slums where we can find no girls with no bras. And he's just grabbing her by the back of her neck, shaking her around and everything. Real nice of him. It's all just a trip. He knew it was coming. People have been warning him, even his own personal people. We tried to tell him. Here he is, guys. He doesn't even have, he's not even in a legal status right now. So, you're off.
Si Sim Rosipo nga adunay mission order gikan sa Bureau of Immigration.
So they'll start with that and probably hold him from there. If they let him out, I'd be surprised. And the persona non grata, I bet he doesn't go back to that area, technicality or not.
Sas mga inungdan siguro na expire na po na yung visa. So, paano siya kanang gitawag o overstaying alien. Muna na murag na highlight gining iyang kaso tungod aning mga reklamo sa iyang vlog nga diin kining mga.
And by the way, this was put out by that councilman.
Atong sekretary og ang tanan.
By the way, those are political people standing there. So that's what I would start with is immigration status. How the hell do you let that go out of style? Wow. So go figure. So go figure, guys. His immigration status got him. Do you realize how often that happens here? A lot. And he's under investigation to begin with, and now they're coming back to look for more stuff. So, yeah. Hey, Victoria, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Geez, they mentioned his landlord. Hopefully he's not dragged into it. Yeah, hopefully he didn't know anything about it. I doubt it. Oh, gotcha. I don't watch his channel regularly, so I don't know. Okay, that's cool. No, a lot of our people have been watching multi-channel, so maybe this is the first time you've listened. But I'll tell you right now, several of the other channels that have covered it, and there's tons of them covering it, they were like, oh, is he innocent? What's up with that? You know, you can't convict this guy. And this is just going to run off vloggers. And it's like, dudes, have you not watched it? Or are you okay with this whole situation? Who knows? But it's been out for a couple days, covered by multi-channels. And it's like, it's been kind of crazy. So it's, well, I'm not going to go through. I was going to pull up some of the photos. But yeah, it is very creepy. His whole channel shows everything. Oh, you're going to go visit tomorrow? Cool. Why is the hands cuffed? I don't know. Because he's out of status with immigration. They handcuff anybody that's out of immigration status. Have you not watched America here lately, what they do? He's out of status. That is what's going on. He's behind on his immigration with other things up and coming. So that's what I would do. Start with the small situation. And then they'll probably just hold him from there. Yeah, it was kind of creepy. So it was very, very creepy. Let me, media. For those that weren't in here that missed the earlier live stream, I'll just pull up some of the other stuff that we had. So here they are saying some of his issues that were going on.
Thank you very much for the recognition, Mr. Chair. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Chair, and to the members of the City Council and to everyone in this August chamber. Last January 10, Mr. Chair, I've seen it in the news that the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group of the province of Negros Oriental has conducted a seizure operation of any possible pieces of evidence that that could support the several complaints against this Estonian national who's residing at Barangay Kantilin, Mr. Chair. And then since August last year, I've personally received personal sentiments from women in Dumaguete. And then up until last month, Mr. Chair, na nikalitrag kakitaan nila ilang nawong sa YouTube, nag-upload ang mga video, nag-hikap-hikap sila aning Estonian national without their consent. And then there's even one video that I've seen uploaded by this Estonian national on YouTube calling our men in the public market as...
He not only called them monkeys, he walked by and did hoo, 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 as he walked by them. Okay, we're not talking about, hey, monkey, what's going on? And then he just kept going. Or he just wasn't talking in his video inside of his house and said, you know, sometimes they act like monkeys. No, it wasn't in that mannerism. I call my cats monkeys all the time. So it wasn't in that manner. And then he goes on to insult, like there was some women in the market, and he goes, "Oh, don't you ever date single women because you understand this, or not single women, single mothers understand they've had sex with Filipino men." That's just disgusting. And he's going on about this as he's walking through the streets. So, I mean, give me a break. So, not only are they upset to the point now where he's, like totally ripping down Filipinos, and we're not talking about like a little bit, we're talking about like directly as he walks through the streets in front of their face. He approaches a girl that's at the market, or she's washing her clothes in the river. And he actually walks up and goes, "You know that butterfly tattoo, what it means? He means you're a puk puk." And he called her a prostitute and said it's like being a prostitute. And none of the people around him said anything. There was a guy standing by and everything else. So he's always in their face and insulting them. He's always grabbing onto them. He's always got his hands on them. And we're not talking, well, everybody uploads videos of Filipinos and this is not. Yes. And you guys have been warned the last couple months that say, oh, go ahead and we'll remove it from your thing. We have that up right now. But here's the thing. We don't directly upload ourselves asking the difference in kids' ages and handing them vapes. And he's directly doing this, and this will get you in trouble. So let this be a warning. This Estonian guy is out of control.
No? And then labeling our single moms in Dumaguete as being banged by
Yeah,
Filipinos.
nasty. They've been
So grabe
having
gyud ka bastos. He was even walking around with 5 to 6-year-old kids. Gipasulay niya og pa-vape. No? So ni-vape ra pud ang mga bata. Imagine 5 to 6 years old na mga
This
bata.
is what he's
Ni
doing.
gamit ra pud sa vape iyang
And
gipasulay.
he's illegally here.
So, yes, that's exactly my point, Mr. Chair, and I agree with Councilor Antonio Remolyo that it is right for us, no, to not have a space for persons like this in the city of Dumaguete, and that we declare him as persona non grata, and then we furnish a copy to the Estonian embassy here in the Philippines and the concerned.
They said he's already been turned over to the president's office. So this is not going to just end by saying, oh, he's persona non grata, and then he's just walking through the streets. No, it's quite not like that. It's gone way beyond it. Hold Filipinos are a slow process thing going on here. So this has been going on for a while. I seen stuff dated in July that was pretty serious. But until this all came up, we let that shit float. People have been messaging us. The guy, there's been several of them that have contacted us. And until we actually seen this type of action and can bring it to you, then we didn't do anything. So I'm gonna
Bigid kay kabastos. Women na nanglabara sa kilid-kilid, wala nakasulot og or who are not wearing their bras, iya pong givideo. And then he even said na it's so hard for me not to look at it. And then na-upload sa YouTube, sa social media platforms.
Mhm.
We do have an existing ordinance, Mr. Chair, on safe spaces in Dumaguete, or the Bawal Bastos ordinance in our city. And the things that he does, kining iyang mga actions, are all blatant
That do look
violations
little pissed
of
to me,
our
to be
existing laws and policies in the Philippines. So I hope, Mr. Chair, that with the indulgence of my colleagues in the City Council, I will get your support to pass a resolution to declare this Estonian national who is residing at Barangay Cantile of Dumaguete as persona non grata. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
And that'll be minimal what they actually do. So that's what they're going on about. But remember, there's already been a raid. So he just kind of repeats that they've got somebody there, but they're not going to put her on camera. There's been multi reports and everything. So I won't. This is on our previous live if you want to go watch. Most of you are return people. I'm just trying to get out of this space where we had some photos of them. They're talking that, yeah. Which I get it. Doesn't mean a lot. He can sneak in and sneak back out, but they're not going to drop him off there. All right, so this is the next thing. People were advising us that he does private videos of his wife, and there's some really funky stuff going on. He charges $20 so you can have not a counsel with him, a counsel with his wife, and he calls it the boys, which is really creepy. And just from there are photos that show the creepiness. And Wouldn't you know? I mean, what are you putting your hands on this pregnant woman for in public? It is all weird. Try that shit in somebody's neighborhood and see what happens. It's kind of crazy. It wouldn't fly. And if anybody's on board with that, then you're on the wrong channel, or I don't know. It is not okay. It is not okay. He's always asking them where their husbands are at. Oh, you got a year and a half to go. He goes on about their age. He gives their locations. Come up to this store, come up to this restaurant. Not to mention, I keep mentioning that he's meeting up with people on a dating app. And these girls arrive with suitcases and luggage. They're in his videos, they're all over his TikTok. And he meets up with them, making them promises. And the girl coming in on Saturday that's going to do a live with us is going to spill the beans. She's already put out three videos, like 3 sections of videos about it. She says he's super creepy. And he just loves going through these slum areas and finding these people. Here he is, obsessed with teenagers. 13-year-old girl wants a foreigner. Come on. I'm still not. They say he's 34 or 36 years old. I don't know. Someone says it lists him somewhere at being that age. But George looked at him again and says, when he said he was 50 in one of his titles, I still believe he's 50. But could be wrong. I'm just not believing the dude, but he could be. I mean, he had that girl show her like middle school or whatever photo, high school photo. It was weird. She's 13, but she's actually an adult. He's always got his hands on the people in the markets, and these are quite innocent compared to the things he says to them in the videos. And his TikToks get even crazier. So he comes on to each one of them as if here's some of his TikToks. He's got quite a few of them. One of them's been removed recently. So I don't know if I put that up or not. I probably already did. I'm a foreigner with Filipino kids and a wife, and I don't need this kind of garbage guy here in the Philippines, too. And again, anybody that's on board and says that, you know what I've been hearing all day is guys coming in and telling me that, one, it's none of my business. And two, they come in and they said, we don't see the problem. There are other people doing it. And if you're one of those that'll sit there and say, oh, why, Heidi? Why are you saying that? Because you did this, or they're pointing out what you're doing wrong, then they're 100% complicit themselves and on board. I get the innocent situation until proven guilty and all that, and then he'll get his day in court. But when your own goddamn evidence is out there hanging out to dry in front of the world, it is what it is. Would you let that motherfucker in your house? Would you let him around your kids? He is out there cheating on his wife. I just watched a video on his TikTok where he brought her into his car. Okay. And he gave her a pair of shoes and acted like she needed to make out with him based on these shoes. And he's taking these women places. The guy's a scum all the way around. It is what it is. And they got him for an immigration violation, and they're probably not going to turn him loose. I don't care if his attorney went with him or not. And if they don't, they're going to come back through and get him for something else. I would think he would want to leave at this point. The wife was not crying when he was making those cringy videos, right? I hate to say it, the wife is stupid to see his behavior. George said the same and laugh it off as it is ridiculous. Is she thinking about her future? I don't know. You know, it appears she's scared at some point. A lot of these vloggers have these Filipino wives that get them involved in it. And I think they're scared. We have footage that we may or may not cover. Did anybody see that Filipina girlfriend to an expat when he went out back to America? She spent like 1,000,000 pesos on gambling. She's scared as fuck. She's sitting there crying in front of her man. Well, don't take money away from my kids and this and that. They're not his kids, but she's afraid now she's not going to have any income. A lot of people believe that she didn't gamble it away. She gave it away to her family while he was gone. And so we'll cover that when we get to the other stories. As soon as this is done, we've still got that expat that has an unpaid hospital bill, and that will be our next story. But she's got to be scared. There's got to be something else going on, unless she's just as nutty as he is or something. Some people, well, she has to. Like, he was like, oh, they sent you $400 for those shoes. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. And she knows because she walks around with him to do this. What Filipina doesn't know a man that acts that way? In public, she's been next to him when he sizes up women and says things to him. She's been with him. So how does she not know this is going on? She didn't check his page to see that he's taking women in suitcases places? No, she knew. He told her probably to shut the fuck up. That's probably exactly what happened. And that was probably the end of it. So I what's up with that? They are a team, wife and Sim. I feel bad for the baby. Well, they had to be making money. Like, a few people dropped, oh, you're jealous because he's got more numbers than you and more money. And me and George just started laughing, and we're like, we don't need viewers and money that bad. You trust and believe that it's just the way it is. Our bills have been paid. We've been here over probably closer to 5.5 years, and our bills get paid. We don't go hungry. We don't whatever. We don't need to pimp out Filipino kids and people and the local environment to make our living. I'm sorry. What he's doing is unacceptable. And it's very degrading to every Filipino, and they're highly disgusted. And he's on his way out, just like Vitelli. Same people discuss it at Vitelli, but you're not discussing it at him. And you want to point the finger back to regular guy. They say they're all going down. Well, let immigration and all of them go through and get them. Immigration, the government, all of that. That type of logging has to stop. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what she's doing. She's complicit. What do you think she does all day? And I doubt they're licensed. So then you're talking about messing with the taxes and the BIR and licensing and everything else that goes along. Yes, if you're getting paid, it doesn't matter what country you're from, or to the point of just not coming in for 2-3 weeks, then you're messing with that. I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, he won't be able to pay the rent now. Well, yeah, pretty much. And still have supporters. Well, George said that it's those people that he's attracting that are willing to watch his videos. It sure that hell ain't me. And most of our people, I'm sure, are not those people. We had people come in and said, oh, it's because he goes around and he shows things for tourism and he's such a good vlogger and this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. No, that's not why you're watching. Sorry. You're only kidding yourselves. You're only kidding yourselves. Those viewers that are his long-term people are not in for his good charms and his perfect National Geographic. Here we are in the Philippines, and over here you got this Filipino man that is sitting on a trike. Look at him. Oh, gorgeous tan and brown, and look at him. Look at him drinking his, coconut juice, and look at this store over here and this restaurant and that. No, that's not what's going on. You can barely understand the man. The only reason they're watching is they're waiting for a panty or bra drop. They're wanting to find out an age. They want to know a province. They want to know an area so they can come here, and that'll be their first stop over to find somebody. And it's not that Baby May shit. I mentioned that also earlier. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Baby May's got friends that'll come on there and say they're a single mother, and they'll go through their life story. Way different, guys. I think it's a little off that they're doing that, but that's a whole different game. That's a whole different ball game, because there was like comparisons to, regular guy, Baby May. They went through Vitelli and a bunch of these others. There's a bunch of bad super creeps. And yes, Filipino people are doing this. Filipino guys are doing this, and there are some women walking around Manila that are showing slum areas and talking to young girls. So they are exposing their own people. That hasn't gone unnoticed. That has not gone unnoticed by us mentioning it. That, it's kind of like every country, their own people have been doing it for so long. So, but this is an expat Filipino channel, and there's a lot to learn from this. Pay your immigration if you don't want to go down for your smut pup. I mean, give me a break. I don't care if it was by 3 days. Who are you kidding? Nope. She ain't got to make him a sandwich tomorrow. No, sir. I don't think so either, but it wouldn't surprise me being he has his attorney. But here's the thing. As I'm to understand, they're not just taking him to Cebu. Somebody else said he's actually in flight to go into Manila and go to whatever the holding area is. And I think once they get him there and they go back through his house and talk to his wife, let's hope she doesn't spill the beans on him. Because I'll tell you what, she's probably scared as hell right now. She can laugh that off all she wants. I know quickly people will sell you out up the river really quick. And if she thinks she's going down with that baby, she's just going to take whatever she can in the house and all that. And they'll be, ooh, bye, see ya. Hey, Michael. Bye, Sim boy. He was a creeper, got busted. The wife is just as bad. She knew he was out pimping young girls. Did she know he was dating on these apps? And literally, I mean, what blows my mind is he's showing himself picking the girls up with suitcases. Like the girl was rolling it through I mentioned this earlier, through like a food shop and stuff. And he's like, oh, did you pay for this? And he walks up and starts drinking out of her drink. I'm like, oh, hell nah. I don't like you that much. I'd have been like, see ya. If you'd have walked up and drank out of my drink the first time I'm meeting you, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's too much. This guy's too much. Can you elaborate on needing a license to run a YouTube channel? Are you new, Richard? Are you? Okay, so we've been in the game for 5 years, and we have a Google manager, and we've been to Google headquarters several times and invited to events. If you checked our channel out, we used to talk about this when we first got here. You don't need a license to run a YouTube channel if it's all nonprofit, you're not making any money, and you're just uploading for family and friends. The moment you hit like that 1,000 subscribers and someone sends you a $5 sticker and you're being paid, then you need to. If you're here in the Philippines and you're monetizing the content while you're here, you need a business license through the BIR, and you need to pay taxes. For those that are lying to you and stating, oh, well, there's a percentage of my taxes and this and that, and I pay back to Canada and I'm a corporation, all that. Now, I'm not an attorney or anything. I don't know if you're incorporating or what any of that means. If you can, there are guys that live outside the country permanently that are running some people's YouTube channels. I doubt this is what's happening, but he's inside. I don't care if his business person is living in Transylvania. I don't give a shit. He's living and working here as a vlogger. And we have the documents and have had them for a long time, but be more than glad to send it to people. It states that, and this was during the pandemic, they start cracking down on online stuff. So selling t-shirts is buy me a coffee. Oh, talk to my wife through video. She's working and then he's working. That's where it is. That's absolutely where it is. So that's why you would need a licensing. So taxes, licensing, and that's just where it is. It's when you're making money. So if you're just going around for fun and not making any money, that's fine. If you're here for a few months and you're going home, then that's fine. Deal with your country and then you pay it. It's not because Google is over there. When you live here long term and you tell the truth to Google that you're living here, your paychecks start coming from Asia. George gets paid from Singapore. He doesn't get paid from the US. Initially you did because that's the way it was in the beginning. But when they know you're living here, and then it all got switched over a few years ago, they started paying out of Singapore. So it doesn't matter. You're still working here. So you're without tax license, you're without this. And if you don't believe, then go talk. And I doubt a lot of them that are bringing in money is going to go down there and say, hey, can you tell me, do I need a license and blah, 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 blah. No, a lot of them are hiding and they're trying to file their taxes back there. and they avoid having any of their licensing. Now, when you have a permanent status here, if you're a certain status, you're allowed to work, aka 13A like me, or like the other ones that are in SRV, they're allowed to work. But most of them aren't. Most of them are on tourist visas. So they just keep renewing and coming in and out. This includes teaching online. Anything that you're making money online and you're sitting on a computer is still making the money and working in the Philippines. And if you declare that at the airport or tell anybody, they've had people leave based on that. Pimping gets you 10 to life in Dallas, Texas. Doing that in somebody's neighborhood to get you 10 upside your head. He would not pull that shit in his country. It just wouldn't happen, guys. Hey, what's going on? Well, I would hope so. I've seen crazier stuff, but usually when they get him in detention over immigration, even if it's just a couple of days, because he was like, I was going to go fly and pay. Well, how far is he overstayed? 3 days? 3 months? We don't know yet. I'm sure it'll come up. In the next 24 hours, more channels will reveal stuff. That counselor was standing there. So he's wanting this done. I'm sure they'll say how long he's overstayed. More newspapers will pick up on it. It'll go from there. Come Saturday, getting this girl's interview that he met off of a dating site, and she was telling a hell of a story. There was 3 parts to her story, so it's about a half hour of her telling something. But it was so much Tagalog, I'm going to need George to translate. So I would hope so, with everything base going on. I mean, a second one, we had 600 people, 680 people. It wasn't our highest live. We've had people 700. No, we appreciate everybody being here. They're just curious. I bet you half of these are vloggers just getting updates or what I'm going to say. It's our regulars, and it's a hot topic right now. And to any Filipinos out there, let us know how you feel about that. Let us know how you feel as an expat. I keep proposing proposing the comments, questions, and everything. Would this be normal in your country? And your answer says everything. If you're saying, yeah, we don't mind that, yeah, okay, then evidently you're not a father or a mother or a aunt or something else that would be acceptable. It is not acceptable behavior at all. Walking by and panning a camera and saying, oh, look at her, she's pretty or whatever on the occasion is one thing. But you got guys that are walking up and saying, do you prefer brown or white when it's stuck in your mouth? They're doing that type of vlogging here as expats. They are like doing some very sexual things. They're giving out these girls information, and it just goes from there. It's like a warning to every expat that's kind of doing something similar. They're coming for people. Give them some time there. Like I said, there's a few of them that have dedicated full channels to this, and we've been contacted over the last year or so. But again, needed more information, and it just fell on our lap today. Their talk, she was doing the editing. Oh, she was the editor? It's possible. I couldn't imagine. It could be he was doing the editing. She had to know. Nobody's that stupid. Nobody is that stupid. Maybe if I work hard enough, she'll turn on him and she'll come on to our live. Maybe. We've had crazier. We were supposed to do the homeless guy that Carrie's been, one of my latest fascinations here lately. Both girlfriends were willing to come on our show. We've got audio of one. One was supposed to appear on a live stream. They were spilling the beans. They were going on that he was a druggie, that they stole money from both girls, that he cheated on both girls, cheated on one and went to the other when they were with each other. The other one went with the other, and that he put himself out there. And so it was kind of crazy, but you'd be surprised who comes forward and just starts talking. It's wild. He said that he never wears a pair of socks twice. He wears a new pair every day. That is wild. That is wild. But no, I would say I haven't heard somebody. That is crazy. Interesting. How did you find that out, Victoria? Did you actually hear him say that? I missed that. Did they say that in Tagalog, Victoria? Okay, on the 6th. So, yeah, so he's officially about a week overdue. They might turn him loose. They might let him pay, but here's the thing. If that's so, then why didn't they just let him pay? That's because they said they had other things going on. So he is now what's called an undesirable through immigration. So more than likely, he's not getting out. So he just not only is an overstayer, it was a reason to come get him, but now he's officially an undesirable, and then they'll deport him based on that. So, like I said, if he's lucky, they'll just take him out based on that, and then they'll just blackball him or something. They'll blackball, ban, whatever, where he comes back. I hear you. He is not here. He fell down the stairs. See how he was carrying 3 passports in his backpack? It actually looked like he had multi cards too. And after he talked about credit card scams, phone scams, and other stuff when he was younger and stuff, kind of makes you wonder. Or he applied for a bunch of credit cards before. Who knows? Hard saying. Yeah, it was their reason to come through. Yes, he was overstayed. I appreciate you being here, Alexander. And I went off earlier about people talking about regular guy and talking about sunshine shoulders. I said, that ain't even close, man. What the hell are you guys talking about? You're always trying to talk about jealousy. Now, I will say that is just outright jealous. Jealousy, and, you know, it's just, could there be some creepy stuff going on or things that just don't look right or things that we've heard over the years? Not compared to this guy. Sunshine and them didn't go around asking about bra sizes and ages and pimping out girls and putting their bare-breasted wife breastfeeding in front of people and put them on to do video chats and sexing people out and picking girls up off of dating sites and doing all this shit. I don't think so. I think regular guy is a good storyteller. I think he trolled the trolls and trolled well. It caused his channel to double and triple. I don't think that's what's going on. We know regular guy. I'm sorry, that's not him. It's not him. Yes, he went around putting cameras and said, "Hey, baby Roonies," and a lot of people find him creepy and won't watch him for that reason. And I did get highly offended, and I still stand to this day that he approached the Muslim woman and said something about her. It was kind of rude the way he did. I think he mentioned her boobs or something, and the girl got offended. And I'm like, he's probably pretty lucky the family didn't come after him. And he has come very close to crossing lines. There's others that are doing a full witch hunt on him, saying he's going down. That's up to the government and everything. I'm telling you, he's a good guy. As a matter of fact, I think he's such a good guy, he's almost on the gay side. Sorry, regular guy. Sorry. I'm just going to put it out there. I think he's so regular, he might even be gay. So I'm just telling you. So sorry to ruin you guys. It's understand a lot of that is a content situation where they're trying to get views or whatever, and he's catering to the men, and then he curved it up and went into, and yes, I did say that. That he I'm thinking about regular. What the fuck did Heidi say? Dude, I'm saving you. I told you I would save you, regular guy. Just go with it, man. But he went more into travel stuff, and then now he just hangs out on Walking Street where there's 1,001 guys. So don't, I don't sit there and say, oh, because they're down there and blah blah blah, they're just horrible guys. Let them do their thing or whatever. But all in all, you got to let immigration and the legal system get them if they're going to get them. A bunch of witch hunters. It is what it is, Stop doing the regular guy thing and coming down on them and everything else when there's like 100 other guys that are worse, but you guys don't say nothing about them. It's crazy. It's hard saying why he's not on a 13A. One, people don't want to pay up the money, even if it is a few $100s, is what it is, and then you got to wait a year. You're not allowed to leave the country. Maybe he needed to leave the country. Maybe he's truly not married. People are saying that he's 34 years old or 36. I'm still not buying it. I'm still stuck on that. Sorry, and especially being he called himself a 50-year-old guy, and I'm also I don't know. But it just because you're married, a lot of guys never do it. They just stay on a tourist visa. It could be he may not pass. Believe it or not, they let you in the country and you can't even pass for 13A. You have to go through a full background check legally and all this other stuff. And maybe he couldn't pass all of that. Maybe he knew he had warrants in his country. Maybe he knew, they did full background checks and everything on me and ran a full thing all the way through on me. You have to pass a legality of a full background check on everything when they do these 13As. Maybe he couldn't pass it. Somebody said there was some other shit. Heidi, it's evening here. Did you forget already? Same time as the Philippines. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Wow, I wonder why I did that. It just took away. It's wild how this once it passes it won't let us go back. Did you hear him say to the BI officers he was flying to Manila tonight? Yeah, he was probably going to go do his immigration, is what he was trying to tell them. When they said you're an overstayer, that part I did hear, Anthony. Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. You guys are on the same time frame. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's what the vibe a lot of people are. And I did leave a message on there saying, something to him along the lines of I've seen the videos, the guy, it's not the same as what you went through because he did go on heavily about how they witch hunted him and that, he gets a hard time still about what's happened and people turning him in and everything. But I would think that he watched all the new stuff and went through the guy's videos before he went further to say what he's saying. But I get what he's saying. He also repeated that he wasn't talking about Sim. He was talking about the ideal. But it was funny that the rest of his videos were indicating Sim in the description. So I don't know which it is, but it does sound like that he's but maybe he has not had the time to go through, But none of us are attorneys. None of us are the judges. But with my own eyes, you're not fucking coming to my barbecue. I'm going to have nothing to do with you. And I feel you should be taken off. And I feel you should go to jail with Vitelli for everything you've done. I think for everything he's been doing, he should get in trouble. He's come here. He's continued bad behavior the last couple years. And what isn't being put on air, guys? What are we not seeing right now? With that behavior out in the open, as anywhere in the world, what do you think they're doing really behind closed doors and on the side for money? Sorry, a lot more going on. This guy has been around the block. So if Sunshine, that's his opinion on the situation, then let it be his. The same with all the other channels that say this and that. This is just where we stand. So it's insane. It's the way he's been treating Filipinos. It's the way he's been walking around with his white pride bullshit and his racism. It's the stuff where he's asking people about their brawls and he's insulting people and giving vapes to kids and picking up women off the internet and putting them also on camera, making promises of dating and all that when he's been married the whole time. So it's going to come back to him. So if that is Sunshine's prerogative, which I'm not sure that it is, then that's on him. So, hey, Lackaspod, what is going on? Sim pro-life traveler being deported back to Estonia, guys. Hello, where you been? We've been saying that they've already picked him up. We just showed the live stream from a few hours ago. This news is only a couple hours old. And we waited for the other video. But yes, that's more than likely what's going to happen. Now, I haven't been back in there. So unless there's been a second one saying that they're going to hold him and he's being thrown out, then yeah, that's why they picked him up. That's probably the pure thought is that that's what's going to happen. But he's been picked up. I don't use YouTube when I blog. I don't use YouTube. I Rumble. There's no guard lines and wear a sign. You walk up my camera, you're going to be on it. Okay, gotcha. Oh, wow. Yeah. Sorry, guys. The comments are starting to move. So if it passes here, I can't put them up. So, well, the way he keeps going on about his white skin and his alleged wife next to him, talking about, yeah, he's got white skin. The way he goes on about how he's white and better and a foreigner and his wallet carries, it's kind of crazy. He's probably got a milk symbol on his profile somewhere. That's very disrespectful to the Philippines and to the people. That is, a lot of people like, oh, Heidi, you dog the country and talk about the heat and the trash and how your retirement and this and how Filipinas are this and they're dating and how they're, passive and they yell and they've got attitudes. Yeah, a lot different than calling them monkeys in their faces and talking about oh gross, they have sex with each other and going on calling people prostitutes directly to their face. No, sorry, not happening. So, and we sure the hell ain't gonna leave that actually outright on camera like that, like George said, not in the open. If we're gonna sit here and be racist and talk about people, we're not gonna put it all on camera like idiots. Yes, you have to learn the country's laws, 100%. RG free speech is only Filipinos, and well, could very well be. Yes, he's a guest in the Philippines, should act accordingly. I think those poor women were just in shock when he talked to her. Yeah. How about footage from videos that, not sure, Lars, on the rest of that. In his video, Sim kept going to immigration every 2 months. I don't know if he was legitimate. I'm not defending him and saying what I watched. I really feel sorry for Jolene. I don't feel sorry for Jolene anymore. She had to be involved. She had to be complicit. She was collecting the money, nobody is sent $400 for nothing. Think about that. If you had a young daughter that was sent $400 from an expat overseas for nothing, you wouldn't think nothing was going on. She knew what was going on. Her husband wasn't just woof making that money. That $400 came for some reason. Sorry. Don't say it's because she's pretty and because this and it's jealousy. That'd just be a stupid answer. She was complicit. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. Oh, we don't know what's going on. Is he innocent? Is he not innocent? Is she whatever? I'm going to call that shit out. You were complicit. You knew what was going on and you was fully involved in the whole thing. There's no way you didn't know about 5 different TikToks that were talking about, you just were involved based on the titles of those TikToks. There's no way you didn't know he was taking women offline and doing whatever. I wouldn't doubt if there was a fans only page somewhere. You realize we know there are 2 or 3 big vloggers that have fans only pages somewhere else. Can't say who they are. They also were on Trike Patrol too, here locally, a Filipina. Big vlogger. Wouldn't you guys like to have that name? I don't feel sorry for him at all. So, booyah. And if you don't know what Trike Patrol is, these are pretty much home videos that were made by Filipinas that are putting their sexual life out there. And the one had help from her boyfriend that was an expat. Booyah. Man, I wish I could drop that one, but then they'd be like, oh, you're just petty because she's got a big channel and you're just being petty because you're jealous. Yeah, no, never sold out like that. Then the pandemic hit and then you got your channel, did you? Boy, there's all kinds of tea I'd like to spill. There's Heidi being hateful. He's going to be a superstar. He even gave the young girl a puff off his vape. There was some boys. That was the photo that we covered up. The other one refused it. An overstay of 1 year cost around 18 to 23,000 pesos. If it was way beyond, for sure. The longer this goes on, the more ridiculous the Philippines looks. How was he still living in Dumaguete after being told to get out? Are you talking about the persona non grata? That just happened. Everything we've been showing you has only happened in the last couple of days. So a few days ago, we showed you where they did the raid. Then we showed you where the councilman doesn't want him there anymore and that they're doing a full investigation. Every department is looking at him right now. And it looks like they made a move the next day. They moved really quick on that. Although the investigation's been going on for a little bit, they moved quick on that. Also offered it to the boys, right? Right? That's what I was saying. So Jolene has nothing to pay about that or nothing to say about that. Hard selling. I mean, it's hard saying selling. I mean, saying selling. Only one ridiculous here is you defending him. You must be talking to the other person. Yeah. The vape is grooming. Yeah. Where's free speech gone? What free speech? Is that you, John? Did John jump from one channel to the other, or are you just a random person? Free speech for what? Why don't you explain yourself? Free speech for what, huh? Has nothing to do with free speech. I mean, yeah, everybody has a right to free speech and to say whatever and this, and that, but there's a limit. You don't get to go through and ask those things. What, you don't have a mama? You don't have a grandmother? You don't have any kids? Most of the people in our system is over 40 years old, so surely you got somebody. So that's okay for someone to do that to your family member and walk through America or Canada or wherever you're from. Could be from the UK. Right? Boo-hoo, hurt feelings. Thumbs up, peeps. Right? He's in the Philippines, not the US. We play by our rules. Yeah, he's got to play by the rules, and he definitely wouldn't pull that in his country. If he really is from Estonia, which people did say, good thing he put the multi passes out. They're saying he's from somewhere else. Who knows where he's from? But either way, he wouldn't do that in his country. They'd beat him down immediately. So there was a young boy. Somebody else said there was a young girl, but he has a lot of videos everywhere. I'm kind of hoping, although it's a long shot. Again, I mentioned earlier the Mellon guy that's been covering him for 2 years. I understand he's got some involvement. He knows he's turned in stuff. We might be able to get him to come on and tell us a whole story about him, because I'm not going to go through every video and put together pieces on this guy. And I mean, I've already seen enough the last 2 days, and we've been aware of him for a while, but this guy has got like full records and receipts on him. I would just be curious to hear somebody else's point of view, and along with this Filipina. So maybe we'll get a hold of this guy and actually have him come on also after the Filipina that has a story about him. I ran into his channel 2 months ago. I found it weird. His favorite word was looks young. Yeah. Filipinos play shocking people, but they still encourage basketball muse contest. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is crazy. You do not touch people. It is not okay. Yeah, you just don't. Minimally, if there's anything to take away, if you're out there vlogging, you can't keep putting your hands literally on people's shoulders all the time and touching their arms and grabbing onto them. And you can't talk about their age to young people trying to figure out how old they are. Somebody defended that and said he really just wants to know their age. No, that's not why you're doing it, because afterwards you'll say, oh, and you're single too? Oh, there's no husband? Good. This is their location. And I'm like, wow, that outright, and I'm sure that this is like beyond a full investigation if it's already arrived at the president's desk. And then I have to be fair to the expats that, on the other hand, it is weird that, and you're going to hear it, it's weird how there are Filipinos doing this. Why aren't they arresting the Filipino vloggers? You know who talks the worst shit about the Philippines? The Filipino people. They go on in their live streams about people like, oh, nobody talks about corruption. Nobody talks about this. It's the Filipino people. They are doing it. George listens to it all the time. I'm listening to it all the time. So they are tightening down on the expats, And maybe that's the point some of these other vloggers were trying to make is, hey, are you next? I know Sunshine was trying to bring that point. Okay, I don't think he's defending the guy. He already mentioned this. I think the point is you could be next. And also, I don't know, I didn't watch his entire live stream. I feel that it could be a targeted situation, except for the guy it just looks guilty and his footage is guilty. So sorry, don't feel sorry. So go figure. But I don't see their own people going down for it either. So there are people that are doing the same type of slum vlogging, talking to the young girls, showing them out there, and you got fathers, mothers putting young kids in hotel rooms for these expats. It's a what do they call that? Supply and demand. They know that's why they come to Southeast Asia, and so it's just like a vicious circle all the way around. I normally side with the underdog, but not in this case. Lots of Western traffickers in the Philippines. Yes, there is, believe me, way worse. They go through and raid Walking Street all the time. They find very young girls down there, 12, 13, 14. The ones that have been here for a while go out to the province and they pick up cousins and other people. They bring them back for 20, 30 bucks as a payment to bring the girls to come live down here and make money. And the family let them go just to make the money because they're poor. They take advantage of the whole thing. Most of them are foreign-owned bars down here. Koreans, Americans, British, and they know they got minors working there. Give me a break. And that's what the guys want. And there's all kinds of shit going down here. And in Cebu, they've got they got these red streets everywhere in the Philippines. His time finally came. They locked him up. I've been saying that for over 2 years. Hey, what's going on, Happy? And that they were going to get him. That alone will get you killed here. Well, someone said they're surprised no street justice hasn't happened. But if you guys have listened to his last few vlogs, he clearly stated, and especially the Melon guy, he had footage where he made that statement. I had to get a place with a gate and a fence. Notice his place had an oversized, looked like a mini fortress because there were people after him. And these weren't jealous people. These are probably Filipinos and expats that just weren't having it. So he was not in a house of that size with that big of a gate. And he said that he had to stay hidden and change his location. So in the province, Filipinos find it normal to see a 20-year-old with a 50-year-old. Yeah, of course, not a Filipino. They do have it. There are the age gaps. They do tend to marry even when they don't have money, but not as often as it comes up with the foreigners. Locked him up for good. Probably a boy. I thought it was a girl. It was 2 boys. He went to go hand it off to the other boy, and the boy shook his head. So he looked 50. He said he was 50. Looks like I'll have to find that thumbnail where he says he refers to himself as a 50-year-old foreigner, and he looks 50 to me. Yeah, we went through that earlier. He looked 50 to me. 36, yeah. The dude is in great shape for 50. He will have a mug shot, should have a birthday date in it. Gotcha. Okay. On him being 36. What I meant is the province mentality that they should change also. Yeah. Let's see if Jolene's laughing now. 20, 50 is not normal. Well, 20 and 36. I guess it's a 16-year age gap. I don't know how old she is, or he probably did, but here's the thing. Maybe he didn't know they were coming because evidently they came back through with other paperwork and stuff because they just weren't there because of his immigration status. So they probably did. I'm sure they found something. Asian freelancer, disrespectful. He was worse. He was worse than I thought. I'm not even going to justify that. I've been talking about that for a little bit. What evidence? His own evidence. He hung himself, literally. He hung himself. Yeah. Yeah, he's cooked. It's public, therefore anyone can say their opinion. Absolutely. And that's what this day and age is about. No matter what the topic, no matter what the subject is. And it's just not the Philippines. You know, I know Sunshine, I talked about it earlier, went on about different types of vlogging and nobody vlogs good content anymore and everything went to shit. Stuff has gone to shit, Calvin, all over the world. People like are covering that what's her name, that Gypsy Rose that offed her mother and shit. They still run live streams on that and get numbers, lots of numbers. And people run them on the 90-Day Fiance. They run it on what's going on in the US. They run it on the ICE agents. They run it on everything. I think the whole world is becoming so polarized and so dramatized and everything's becoming drama, and it's just what people are doing. So it's, you know, and I think people, you know, on different topics, you know, no matter where it is in the Philippines or in Thailand, I think they're just trying to get their minds off of stuff. But when you watch smut like his, where he's asking brawl and all that, that means you're in it on that situation. I'm sorry. You did not watch it based on their home cooking or that he was just showing a neighborhood, because most of it was slums. Most of it was his breastfeeding wife. Most of it was her half naked. Most of it was other women in his cars or going places with these other women. Sorry, what was you watching for? All right, so maybe that took your mind off of it. Maybe you're all into, you know, Cornhub and you're all into the sexual Asian thing and the whatever you're into. That's on you guys. I mean, that's where his 40,000 followers came. It's you know, that would watch his videos. I mean, I know he's got 90. I'm talking about like on average 30, 40,000 views. That's you. But your boy went down like a sack of potatoes, man. Get the DDs. I don't know what that means. I don't go through and know what that is. Get the DDs. Do you mean like details or just doing a breaking live stream based on live footage from a couple hours ago? That was it. We just showed, and we just showed where they came and picked him up and showed him in the back of the cop car. Okay. For those that are coming in, we're an hour and 22 in. I will do a recap that the vlogger has been picked up in Dumaguete. They have officially arrested him, and I will show the beginning footage. He was served a mission order. This first bit was just outright recorded. There was also a live stream that followed it, and he is an overstayer. Yes, as I'm to understand now, maybe it's been about a week that he's overstayed, but that's how they nabbed him. And they will probably hold him there. Someone said he's on his way to Manila, and that's the end of it. I came in to do this live stream to do an update for our regulars, but they did arrest pro-life traveler Sim Rasputo or Raspuso.
Immigration.
No, he's been in a, I call that a fortress because that's not normal for an average Filipino. He's up there paying probably at least 25, 30,000 pesos a month, maybe even more. And so nobody can get in. And so he knew there was some shit that was possibly going to go down.
Ato istorya okay? Ato hindi na ito pagkagahe, ma'am. Kung meron problema, ha? Ano, ma'am? Okay lang din. Pakasodra bang kami dali? From Cebu, Region 7.
You're on a mission order for being undesirable. Okay? You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do
Right.
can be held against you. And you have the right to a lawyer. And if you don't have one, the government will provide for you. Okay?
But my lawyer is coming right now.
Yeah, we'll wait for your lawyer.
For na lang ng passport served this mission order for the violation of the Philippine Immigration Act of 1940 for violations of your conditions of stay. Okay?
I mean, I'm overstayed.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they mentioned he overstayed, but they also called him an undesirable, which means it seems to be one more charge. Because if you're just overstaying, they don't throw you into an undesirable category. Usually, when they mention undesirable, their intention is to deport you no matter what. So he can go to court and try to stay, but I'm going to tell you that they called him an undesirable. From my experience of watching these other vloggers or other foreigners, once you're called an undesirable, they want to deport you. And if they stack any of the other things, or considering charging him for what was it they were calling it, human rights violations and anti-cyber crime. They had some other ones of what he was doing out in public, recording the minors and everything. Then they're just going to stack that and hold him. So it would be the one or the other. So either way, this just isn't just a simple overstay, but I can't believe he's an overstayer, even by a week. I mean, why would you wait a week over and not go in? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
That's one.
I have a airplane ticket to Manila.
And by the way, there somebody here said, "Did you see her closet? More clothes than Imelda." Yeah, they had a whole bunch of stuff. Did you guys see their first videos when they got together? They were practically sleeping on a mattress on the floor with nothing. This man does not have 2 and 3 pensions. The cars, he wrecked a truck, he bought a car, she bought a motorcycle. She's been waiting 2 years to buy it. Like some of the first interviews that he did of her, he kept insinuating she was a bar girl. Like he was going through and talking to her and says, "Well, what is it you did?" She goes, "Well, I can't really say what I did." And so they put it up like right from the beginning. She had bar like tendencies, is where she worked. And then finally she goes, "I don't work at a bar." And the comments were like, "Yeah, you did. But who's to say where she worked initially?" But they had nothing in the beginning before all the YouTube money came in. And again, no taxes going out for it, maybe back to his country. It still doesn't give you the right, once you collect money, to not deal with the tax people and the YouTube situation at hand. But yes, they were definitely making the money. He intentionally crashed that truck. That's why Ford sued him also. Well, how? Oh, because was he making payments? Huh, interesting. Let's play a little bit more of this.
8:40. So
Oh, good. Perfect.
I was planning to go.
Okay, perfect.
So there you go. I was wondering how Mark Thornton would cover this news flash. It's funny how some people say they don't deal in drama at all, and then him, including all the rest of them, have been dealing in it. And actually, I don't even try to understand anymore. I just do what I do. People do what they do. It is what it is. And I'm sure he'd have covered it in one form or another. For those that say they don't, once they see other people get numbers, as soon as their numbers drop on other things that they're doing, it's hard telling why people cover. We all cover the news. We all cover. And I've seen people that were just doing cooking vlogs on YouTube, and now they're covering this stuff. Like randomly, you'll see these channels, Expat and Filipino, they'll just all of a sudden this stuff came up. So it's everybody covers. Yes, she did accept it after she knew what was going on. Okay, regular guy is a bit strange too, and I freaking hate when he says Babe Rooney's. I think it's hilarious. I like his storytelling, and yes, it is what it is on that. But like George said, he's like it's like a difference between day and night, in my opinion. Well, we'll stay with the mother. You can't be a guest in a country and think you can do anything you want in public. YouTube is falling asleep. Yeah, YouTube will always fall asleep. They're not going to go through looking for those people. They have to be reported multiple times to remove channels. Child goes to child protection. If they come back and get her for something, yes, it's possible, or to a family member. Jolene was just as much at fault as he would. She should be behind the barbs. Oh, are you talking about? Yeah, but I think he was just talking about, how would he if it came up? He'd probably cover it. Because there's a point to the whole situation. Pay your taxes, follow the laws in the Philippines, You're supposed to, if you're making money the way he did, you're supposed to register your channel and do all that legally. Don't, I mean, you can't record kids outright like that and ask their ages, and there's all kinds of stuff. You can't outright degrade and call Filipinos hookers. You can't, rate up in their face. We're not talking about like on the side and shit, talking about, oh, so and so is doing a live stream where she looks like this, and that, and then she gets butt hurt and tries to report you. No, we're talking like outright in people's faces. So they've got his number. His time is up. Oh God, Vitelli. He's a Russian vlogger that went through the streets, doing all kinds of bad stuff. Something similar, talking down to people, running up, trying to take a motorcycle from a cop. He took a fan out of a store and ran with it. It's shock vlogging. And I think that's what's going on with Sim is he's kind of trying to do a shock value, but he's added all this sex stuff to it and adds in the girls, and he just uses this whole slum thing all together with showing these underage girls, and have just violated all kinds of rules of the Philippines. So Vitelli was just at a different level, shock vlogger, but he went too far, and he's in jail right now. They've still got him here. I reported him to YouTube every time he was with a kid. Thank you so much. Thank you. That is surprising that people go on camera and do not pay to stay there. What is wrong with the information that he gives to potential tourists? He doesn't expose people. He gives money back. I'm not even going to justify that one, sir. Are you kidding me right now? He gives to potential tourists. What potential tourist watches that? The outright degrading of the people and the name calling in public and giving, like, every vlog is a slum vlog. Every vlog is exposing one side or the other of the Philippines. So you must be one of those. Not only are you new, but you must be one of those, period. Wow, gives back to the community. I don't call that giving back to the community. You can't cover up a bunch of bullshit with a few pennies. Okay? You just can't. And here's the thing. I'm not even going to waste my time. Not going to sit there and get all, no. I've been talking this whole time. You're just one of those. My internet sucks. You're back. Hey, lack of spot. I mean, give me a break. And anybody want to answer this guy here? Yeah, right to free speech, but all of that is just upside down. Potential tourists. Did you miss the whole picture from the beginning, or are you special? From the very beginning. Okay? The answer is no. You can't follow people around with cameras. You can't hand kids vapes. You can't make that shit up by giving $5 worth of food or claim that you're giving stuff away to people. And you need a DSWD permit to do it. That's against the law too. Follow the Philippine law, asshole. The fuck? You're one of those. You're probably one of the 40,000 that watches each of his videos. Damn troll. And she disrespects her mom. Oh, was that the video where her mom came over and she says she stinks and was stinking up the house? And yeah, I've seen a few of his videos where he does that. That other guy must evidently be uneducated about the whole situation and hasn't watched any of them or really watched all of his stuff. You just pick and choose what you want on that one, because you're about the third person that says that. And again, you're allowed to your opinion, but I'm like, what an idiot. Are you kidding me right now? True, we are thumbs up. Yeah, watching. Thank you. Yeah, he's outright trafficking, and the shit that he put on TikTok. You evidently haven't seen his TikToks. And what about him cheating on his wife? You're okay along with that too? Picking up girls, promising them things, lying that he's not married, buying him gifts, taking him places, putting him in the cars, putting his moves on them when they don't want it, recording them, uploading that stuff without their permission, using them as an entire vlog. You're okay with that? You think that was all okay? Wow. And that's exactly it. Anybody that says that he was just helping the country's tourism is not. You'd want that done with any of the women, your daughter, your mother, your aunt, any of that okay with you? And if so, don't even bother answering. The answer is in your comment. Hey, Sultan, don't use pro-life in your YouTube channel. Pro-life is the precious baby in mother's womb. Oh, I see what you mean. Don't use pro-life in your YouTube channel. Yeah, it was a little weird. Pro-life traveler, how I use pro-life. I try to figure that out. His wife Jolene seems to be about as smart as a bag of bricks. How hard is it for people to understand that open relationships exist? If he was talking to other girls, of course she knew. What's wrong with that? Yeah, good for you. I did watch his channel on a regular basis. It was only because I wanted to see shit he was doing to do next. Gotcha. I see a scooter ready to take off. Thank you so much. Hey, what's going on, Gucci Bear? If they're sending pro-life to Manila, there's a high probability he'll be with Vitelli. Hey, then they could just sell cell phones in there. They could run something and run cell phones through there. What is going on, Gucci Bear? Hey, Gucci Bear, what do you what do you actually think will happen to him in the end? What do you think's the up and coming thing? Do you think as an undesirable and they put that listed on him, that means they're going to hold him until they deport him or until the charge is clear that they could put on him? He's going to be in there for a little bit. Hard saying. If they're sending pro-life, yeah, to Manila, he absolutely can have an open relationship. If so, all the government wanted to know is what did the wife know? Yeah, absolutely, he can have an open relationship. But what about the women he did that to? So let's look at the other side. Let's say you are. Me and George is in an open relationship. Why not? Uh, so let's say it is. There's swingers and everything. We knew a bunch of them in Florida and in Tampa and everything. So be it. What about the women he was lying to that he was picking up off the dating sites? I got one coming Saturday that says otherwise. That's the problem. And you can't do certain things here in the Philippines. It is not your home country, white boy. This guy is just, you can't do it. You're now the German vlogger, mean, whatever. He is in detention center in Texas since Saturday. Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, Mayan Russian book or Bach or something. Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, they're going to hold him. How many YouTubers do you think actually follow the rules? Yeah, not a lot, but I say expose every last one of them, especially those who film people without their consent. All the truth will come out through Jolene. I bet it's coming. ZR1, aren't you, if I remember, aren't you Melon? Can you verify that? It will all come out, but it will take years. Or we won't hear it all. Like a lot of times, a lot of these things, like the American, the boxer, the fighter that was unalived at the club and they shot him and everything. Nothing ever came up. The guy's in jail. Nothing more came up. Nothing from his sister. Nothing. It'll probably just get buried and that'll be the last we hear. But I wouldn't be surprised if more comes out. So let me see. I'm looking to see if there's any update. One second. See if my source of information can get me more information. Coming in live from Angeles City. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. For those that are joining the live stream, I will just run this in the background because most everybody has probably seen this already. So this is just a where they went out to serve him. Bureau of Immigration showed up. They had more search warrants, and they got him as an undesirable and overstay. So he wasn't even up to date, even if it is by a week. He's still not up to date on his visa. He is on a tourist visa. The channel is a crime scene and should be removed. You would think so, but if he's in BI Cebu, you can actually see him from the front gate. They said he was going to Manila. Somebody said he was being transported to Manila. Hey, what's going on? Get that girl on Rafi Tulfo. I don't think he's going to take her on there, but might. I mean, it's not like money is owed and promises of engagement, but she wants to more warn Filipinos and Filipinas. But I also think they're well aware of what's going on too. They know this stuff's been going on forever. It's just getting worse with the vloggers, and the more that are entering the country, they're making a shitload of money off of it. So yeah. I normally don't see you at this time. Yeah, we're just doing a live based on up to date information that they did arrest him. This is currently live. This was live footage, and that's why this is looking like this. And then bring this in for a minute. This here is actually, this is and was live footage at the time, showing where they're going back through his house and where he was arrested, and they were talking to him. So nope, normally we're not. Other bloggers are watching so they can talk about it. Sure. So they don't have to come up with talking points. Yeah, yes and no. A lot of them are scouring the internet 24/7, super desperate. And I think it's something that some of the new ones do where they're waiting on every single bated breath of every single thing. Then you got where people are just watching me on every single bated breath say, oh, she said this wrong and she did that wrong. And it's like, oh, well. So, and yes, they actually watch. We've been doing it for 5 years. And I mean, yeah, they're just, yeah, it is what it is. 6th of Jan, visa lapse. Gotcha. I watch him. It's like watching a train wreck or an auto accident. It's like he's talk about being ADHD and hyper or something. It's like it was like the thrill of his life or something. I mean, I'm hyperactive too, but shit, you still got to respect the law. Is Sim's wife going with him to Estonia? I doubt it. You know how hard it is for a Filipina even to get to Estonia? Another channel to expose. Okay, not on this channel. So we've been through that. People need to bring more receipts, and when he gets arrested and he's showing his breastfeeding wife and all of that, then I'll cover the regular guy when he gets arrested. Right, regular guy? When this all, he won't be, if Sunshine gets arrested, we'll cover him too. He won't be left out or spared. You realize how many other channels are out there? That's like child's play. This is why his channel got so many views. It was pure train wreck. And that could be why they watched. What about the car insurance? Yeah, I don't know anything about his car insurance. Something like it wouldn't pay because of what happened. He hit them or something. He tried to pay him off or something. 10,000. Somebody said that he actually did. We can try. I would suspect that she probably wouldn't, though. but she might be surprised. I'll try. I'd say the raptor is long gone. Insurance voided. Hey, Harry. What is going on? Yeah, not sure. Yeah, it said he almost killed somebody. His raptor hanging the camera out the window. He was always doing it on this little orange car he's got too. Oh, was it Carl Lagerfeld? I know there was a few people that do that where they change their socks. They won't re-wear a pair again. And the ownership certificate for the motorbike. Hey, Scott. That's true. He shops for knockoff socks all the time. Thank you so much, Steven. Just getting to that. Got him, bro. You married in the Philippines. Just relax and enjoy life. Now your life is in shambles. Yeah, but he had to make his money. He just went too far. It was a level of greed. Like I said, he's got 4 or 5. Let me pull up the channels because I couldn't believe the name of his channels on TikTok. It was like insane. But he had so many of them. Asian freelancers showed him picking up girls at places and doing all kinds of stuff. He had one called Filipina Province Girl. He had like 6 of them. Filipina Life, and he just went from there. They were his channels. He's all over all of them. So it's like he knew he was making money. He knew there were scams. He was scamming the girls he goes out with. If his lady let him do it, that's on her. But she knew about it all. They aren't letting him go. If that happened in the US, they would have protesters siding with him. It's a possibility. Crazy he would not update his visa. He was making so much money. Yes, illegally. He had, I'm sure of it. I'd eat my shorts if he proves that he was licensed. He's actually a tourist here, so I doubt he registered himself in doing everything properly. He didn't even renew his stuff, so I doubt he went through that process. It's not easy doing that process either. George has been licensed for years and years. I don't think he's getting the Raptor back yet. I don't think so. It looked total to me. See him in a few times around Dumaguete, a few times on the road, and always drove his car like an idiot. Jerry Lewis did the same, a new pair of socks every day. Oh, okay. Interesting. Is there any mindset for that except for they just feel they're going to, like, their feet are that stinky? Is it because they just have to have the feeling of new socks and they don't like them stretched out? I don't know. I'd rather have them washed and bleached out versus a new pair. It's because they just have a weird feeling. Is it because he wants them that white every time? Is he one of those people on the tennis shoes that grooms the shoes? And I mean, I'm not sure. Have in mind their immigration is soft on someone with family ties. It's possible they let him sit in the back versus putting him in the backpack. Usually they'd put him in the back, but they didn't. They actually let him sit in the AC in the back. So my guess is immigration was closed over Christmas. He got lazy. Not from the 6th to the 15th. What's going to happen with the insurance claim? Yeah, and you've asked that several times. Lost money. I'm not sure on that. It's a big story, but why it's not hitting GMA, etc. They don't tend to cover these at all. So, yeah, you're not going to get GMA to cover that. What about Q compared to pro-life? In my personal opinion, it's different levels of stuff. I'm not even going to get into that. We covered him a while back. He left up out of the country. There were other Filipinas besides the guy that he kept saying was lying about everything. But when other Filipinas came forward and said a bunch of stuff about him, They're saying alleged minors were involved in other things. His girlfriend was going out and getting young girls. There was an incident at a hotel with a very young girl, and all these people came forward. A bunch of people who were staying at his house. He would get a place according to people, and he would rent out all the bedrooms or something to other expats that arrived and charging them money. They're saying his motorcycle shop. They're saying there was a lot of illegal stuff going on, how he was running businesses and underage people. He was running several YouTube channels through other people and collecting as management on all kinds of stuff. So, it's so what's the difference? I don't know. Immigration allows you to renew up to 14 days early. Everyone knows they'll be closed several days around Christmas to New Year's. Gotcha. He also let the very young boy take a hit from his vape. Yeah. What's your opinion on Overstay Road? I think he's very entertaining. I think he's overstaying. Just kidding. Overstay Road, we've watched him for years. And I think it's hilarious on some of the things that he does. So always entertaining. Filipinos and expats filed complaints to various agencies. It took them a year to act on it. Yeah, there was something that, like I said, it's been going on for a while. Hey, who cares? Okay, yeah. So you're saying I'm a chance with regular guy? You got a chance, right? Heidi, that was a yes and a yes, yeah. Most men are doing the same in the Philippines. There's a lot of them, yes. So regular guy that he might be gay, hey, I think he's so much the other way, possibly. And nothing wrong with that if you swing both ways on the tree. Ain't saying nothing. I think the young counselor chose this to make his name. I don't think so. Sir, this has been going on for a while, Andrew. This isn't the first. You don't think they're not getting tired of them and different reports aren't coming in, then that's a mistake. I don't think I mean, will he get like credit and people are like, and he's just, I don't think it's just because the insurance for the car, no refund, probably not. I know regular guy, no way he has done anything illegal here. We've met him. I think he's nice. You could get vibes from people and meet with them. And we've watched, his content. Yes, like I said, there's some that I don't care for. And I've spoke up on it. He knows I spoke up. He knows I said something about a few of his videos. But it did not cross into the manner that him and that other guy, Q's Adventure and all that shit is crossing into. Heidi, was he trying to flee to Estonia? Also, was he an overstay? He's an overstay. It does appear to only be about a week or so, but they are now calling him an undesirable, which is something totally different. Once you're labeled as an undesirable, it usually means almost always deportation. Now, can you get the attorneys and try to reverse it with all the things going on? They'll probably put a hold on him. I don't think they're going to let him leave with things up and coming, but not a judge either. Interesting. According to NBI reports. Do you have those NBI reports there, G-Man? That's what they were saying earlier. They also said something online from his country showed he was. So, yeah, he's just... Regular guy reviewed law last January and toned it down. Changed his channel, coffee shop, and live rants. Yeah, he's been mostly live. So he took heed and where he was taking the cameras and always in their faces and doing his interviews or panning as they go by. And he asked him, hey, what are you doing? Are you married? And he'd do it where I didn't feel it was all the time. And it did irritate a lot of people, got a lot of them going. And then, yeah, that's what I was saying. All of a sudden he went to travel. And like you said, eating out, sitting on Walking Street, and mostly live streams now. So I don't think he is married. Actually, you can leave the country during the 1-year probation on your 13A. It depends on the situation, but it's not normal. They told me do not leave. So if there's an emergency, I would say so. I had to leave 2 times. My granddaughter passed. Yeah, emergency. But I'm saying that he couldn't just go to hang out for a week over in Thailand all of a sudden. So, but yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. It doesn't happen too often, but yes, for the emergency, they told me I could. But I believe they also told me it was a possibility, and I don't know if they did it to you. You may have to reset depending on how long you're gone. Gotcha. Says he's 34. His wife does look young. Calvin says it's just using Sim's success. Yeah, I believe he said that too. So that's what I mean. What do you mean? It's because he's successful that people are picking on him? Because right after that, I called someone out in my channel that came in and says, you're just jealous of his success. And I said, did you just come from Calvin's channel or something? Because it was the exact words that he said. And I'm like, yeah, that's not it. And I'm sorry, I don't think that's exactly what it is. They're not coming after the guy because of his success. And neither are the vloggers. They're just covering it for numbers. We're covering it because it's something you don't want to do. There's a bunch of lessons to be learned. And as an expat, I'm going to cover it. Yep, Facebook lawyers. Nah, his wife looks 25 to 30. When they were trying to get kids' passports, Jolene flashed a marriage paper, but whose name was on it was not seen. And then the stupidity and overstaying, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, actually, I was not surprised. Most definitely, yeah. You shouldn't have to lose a grandchild and a family member. That's horrible. Nothing to do with if you were to stick him up, you would worry about what would happen to you. Okay. YouTube could have saved his ass if they had shut his channel down. He would have just reopened another one. And he's got like 5 or 6 TikToks that he's doing stuff on. So they could have just went in there. A lot of the reports just as in YouTube. Understand, they're not just talking about YouTube. They're talking in that all of his platforms. He's got his Facebook going. He's got his TikTok. So they would have took him down one way or the other. Or he would just open up another channel if they would have took it down. So it's kind of hard saying. So wife was part of it. How about that wife who is going to take care of her in that overpriced house? Another expat is what usually happens. They all tend to move on, whether they die or leave the country or get thrown out. They move on to the next one. Very common. Very, very common. I could bet money on that one. And now's her a chance to escape Mister. I feel like the color purple. Hey, listen up here, Jolene. Now's your time to escape Mister. Get your bags, get your purple shit, get your baby, and get out. Yeah, get out. I mean, come on. I was just saying her age, that's all. Gotcha. Wife will get hated on for allowing this of her own people. She was just in it for the money. Well, if someone came through and was degrading my dad or my mom the way he was saying things about things being sticky and stinky and dirty and everything else, and she didn't do anything, then I'm sure there was a lot more going on. But yes, the further this goes on and he ends up in more and more news and he's covered by more and more people, this is just going to start flooding. Facebook is getting flooded with all of his stuff showing young kids. And if they do let him out and he's walking around, he might get jumped at that point. Who's to say? I'm just being truthful about everything that could be up and possibly coming. And so it's not a good thing. He won't be getting all that nice YouTube money. What will he do for cash? She's probably going to go get the debit card from him, being they're letting him carry his wallet and phone. So he'll probably have that in the detention center. And she'll probably have him go and get money. So I'm sure he'll be okay on the money. He will be locked up or he will go to Thailand. Wife is just as bad as him. he disrespected her mom in the house and took his side. She never was at the house again. Wow. Hey, see you later. See you later. He calls people basically 304s, but then what is his wife doing on the side for $20? Yeah, immigration help. He can be inappropriate, but I watched his videos regularly and detected no outlandish or blatant racism. No need to embellish. Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong. When you make monkey noises and you say the things that he has said, and sorry, there's been quite a bit of it. So nobody's embellishing. And you watched it and no outlandish or, okay, there was. They were going on about how white his skin was compared to dark Filipinos, and that his white skin as an expat means money. And he was going on about color differences. So I do feel there was a bunch of different things going on besides doing the hoo 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 as he walked by. Or, yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. What do you think will happen? Have no idea. She needs to break from Mister and she needs to get out of there, but I doubt it. Jolene's going to act in the best interest of her child. Yep. And Sim ain't going to listen to her anyways. Yes. He mentioned something about marriage license in his last video. It wasn't in his plans to be a permanent resident. Jim went back to simping for Dexel. Right. That was crazy. He went off to Thailand and she took him back, and there's all that drama. That's a drama there for sure. If he was wild as people think, YouTube would have canceled him years ago. They canceled me. I don't know about that, Andrew. I mean, if you get canceled on YouTube, it's because of reports and then they investigate the channel and find something wrong. If there's been a bunch of reports and then they didn't, then people start going to the government about the things that they have been, the local government and all of that. But YouTube just doesn't go through the channels and look for people and then just cancel on their own. You can't really blame his wife. She is just doing what a lot of Filipinos do. Jolene will go back to her family. He didn't renew his visa because he was planning to take off when he got the subpoena. Interesting. Where was all the purple hair lesbians blowing whistles to protest immigration? Yeah, not sure. Maybe he was scared to get it renewed. Could be. He might have been thinking they were coming after you. Once you go in, that's where they usually nab them. That's a possibility. Either there's a possibility he knew it was up and coming because he was getting warnings from people, or he figured he was going to go in and get nabbed. So I never thought about that side. She can't go back with her family. Didn't you watch the video where Sam didn't want him in his house because they got the floor all muddy with their feet? Yeah, and what was he talking about? The fish stinking or her stinking? Because he kept going on about it being stinky in the house. And I thought he said your mother's stinking, unless he meant she was stinking up the house. But I thought I heard him say she was stinky too, that she was smelling or something. And I was like, that was wild. There is some trolls in this chat. Oh, I'm sure that'll be normal in these types because with 250 people in the room, it's not our normal 50, 60, 70, or 80 people. So they're coming in to give of course there is. There isn't any free speech in the Philippines. Agree, he has a few creepy moments which are wrong. You're all forgetting maybe his wife is Muslim, which allows a second wife. No, sorry, that's not true. A Muslim would not dress the way she does. She wouldn't be flipping her boobs out in front of a camera to be recorded, even if her man was smacking her upside the head. A true Muslim would not be doing any of the above. Pure stupidity on the vaping, I agree. But his wife is not Muslim in any manner. Any manner. Sim is a perv, but you definitely showing him some hate. If he offended you so much, why were you quiet until now? Good question there, Mr. Thailand Rob. If he's a perv I'm showing him some hate. I wouldn't call it hate. It's called my opinion. And if I feel he's disgusting and disrespected the people, and my husband's Filipino, and I've been living here for 5 years, that's exactly how it's coming across, then so be it. Offended me? No, because we don't cover every goddamn vlogger that sneezes or does something illegally. That, as much as you guys would like to say we're a trolling channel, a drama channel, and all that, we cover it when it comes up. So we've known about things for a while. We're just not going to be told by a few people that, hey, this guy's doing this and he's doing that and he's doing that. And then we're just going to jump on it. We're not covering this just to do the pure drama. We're covering it because he's breaking the law. He's degrading Filipinos, and there's lessons to be learned in this. And we'll keep covering it, as I said 2 days ago, and we will continue to cover it until he's fully out of the country or the story disappears like everybody else. So, did I say he offended me? No. Did I say that there's hate going on? That's your opinion. I don't like him. I've made that actually fully clear. It doesn't mean we were going to cover him. I mean, do you realize that we'd have to go live 7 days a week to cover anything like that? That is for sure. But I appreciate you bringing it up. The car insurance claim. Anyone? Thank you, Damien, for the comments. Estonia. Well, then. I'm a stony, crusty dude. Most men are pervs, right? He's cooked. Sim's downfall led me to this channel. Subscribed. I appreciate you guys. Good to watch some normal common sense streamers. Sometimes we're off the chain. Depends on my steroid day or my pain level and what's actually going on with me. You either get this or that, or me and George are at each other. So you never know what you're going to get. Might be comedy, might be just pure rant. Who knows? But we've been doing this for over 5 years, and it's we enjoy it. How much are you paying the girl to come on the live stream? No, we don't pay any of our guests. Never have. Never have paid one person that we brought on here. So, which, by the way, I understand some live streamers do. Everybody that we've asked have come on here to speak their minds, and we give them a platform to do it. And beings we have, close to 26,000, may not be the biggest channel, but it's the one that's the loudest. And so they want to come on and speak their mind and stuff. So she's just agreeing to do it. We're not, and never will pay anybody. Now, maybe if we hit like 1 million down the road and we got sponsorship and all this shit coming in, and we're saying we're balling, then maybe we'll bring in Elon Musk. Who the hell knows? But you guys got my point. I mean, we don't pay guests. That's just a joke. But no. Who said void? Andrew. Every country wants foreigners to act accordingly. I hope the Philippines realizes that all the U.S. wants as well. That is true. As an Estonian, I have never heard of this YouTuber. Well, probably not. If you're talking about, if you're are you in the Philippines or Estonia? Because just because he's Estonian doesn't mean that you're going to hear, a lot of these vloggers are just a drop in the pan. They really are. So even at 94,000, he's not in the millions, and he's not in he's not appearing on TMZ and all that. You probably haven't. It's the Philippines, so much jealousy everywhere. Estonia is looking like it will be rejoining Russia in the near future. Gotcha. That is true. To some level, yes. It's forbidden for tourists or expats to criticize the government or get involved in rally and activism or eco issues. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. You're not to. They recently had the clashes over the U.S. and everything at the embassy. Yeah, you cannot join any of that. Philippines is joining China first. Interesting. Hi from Corfu. Good, good. Hello. How come his YouTube channel is still available on YouTube? YouTube is still paying him. It won't shut his channel down. It'll continue until they decide to shut him down. So, again, if they go through reports and start investigating his channel, people reporting him, then it's a possibility. But it's up to them to do it in the end. So, gotcha. Why did he go to get passports? You mean for the child or his wife as well? Have no idea. Because he hasn't done anything wrong. Good for you. Why didn't his Filipino partner warn him? I don't know why she would know they're coming. His vlogs noticeably changed in 2 weeks. He knew something was up. Yeah, because a lot of it did tend to be his family, but he still did creepy vlogging in between. You just have to go look at him because somebody said it was all his kid, but it did show him out and about making statements to people. So I wouldn't say they totally cleaned up. At least it's what he thought was cleaned up. And did you guys go look at his TikToks? All of it's on there. So even if he cleaned up his YouTube, he's got it all over Facebook. He's got it all over TikTok and other platforms. So know your boundaries when you're doing content. Feel sorry for his wife and baby. Dun, dun, dun. He probably stored loads of raw footage in the cloud drives, which they have access. They got his computer, so they'll be going through all that. Yeah, that's probably where it is. The only good ones are Las Vegas streamers. Gotcha. There's a streamer named Melon Man. Yeah, I've been talking about him crazy. That has been calling out Sim for a long time. Yeah. The videos he has is quite shocking. Yeah, that's the one I thought I would see if he wanted to come in and tell us something from A to Z about him if he wants to show up Saturday. So he's been, yeah, for about, and I now just looked at him because somebody mentioned him a few days ago. And he's probably sent us a message or something, but as we've always said, we're not going to cover until things fully come through and become processed. We do not, there's only once we went to immigration over an expat. So we're just not going to go and, unless it's like, I'm not even going to go through that, but either way, yeah. So I see where he has, and he's been covering them for a while. I bet he's still getting paid. Yes, of course, until they shut the channel down. Classic case of fucked around and found out. It's all envy. I like him. Good for you. You can open a YouTube channel and criticize the government. You will also be deported. One vlogger got well over 300,000 views from one video reporting him. All got 30,000. Is that Belgian guy? Well, there are several people that got numbers that were up there since this has all started, but is it the Belgian guy? Yep, found out. I'm still thinking it's all the young counselors making a name for himself. I don't think so. The evidence and proof is in the pudding of what he's been doing, how he's been doing it. No qualms about that. Because he was brave to come forward and file something. Because I find Filipinos to be very passive and quiet, and they don't want to stir shit up. They're either totally batshit or won't stir shit up. In other words, they're way out there and dramatic, or there's kind of no in between. So the fact he did it or making a name for himself, yes, he was there when they did it. I don't think so. It was time for him to go down as an undesirable. So I don't think that was the point. He got tired of his countrymen that happening. And if it was in your neck of the woods, you would do the same thing. So I don't think so. Some of it possibly from the dark web. He showed a reality in the province. His downfall. He shouldn't have called them monkeys. I want to marry a BI girl or a bi girl. Victoria to Richard about I'm old. People talk about the dark web, and I really have no idea what or how to find it. Lock him up. Once he got rated by the PNP, he became a YouTube star. He did based on the content he was putting out. It's called slum sex tourism. He combined them, went out there, and did all the above. That's what brought him numbers. So, oh, is that what's going on? Big Burr, right? Big Burr. I was wondering how long of an overstay it was. Short, but enough to be called an undesirable will be enough to take him down. So that is for sure. Where is he going? Where is he going? I think he was scared. Yeah, he was going to trigger something, that's for sure. When they said he was persona non grata, that is why they said he is undesirable. It's the same thing. Yes and no. The being thrown out of one city and told not to come back like they've done to other vloggers or in Manila just means they're not allowed to come back to that area. When they call them an undesirable, when it's in the eyes of immigration, just not the local city, immigration called him an undesirable. That means they're picking him up to throw him out of the country. They usually almost always deport those. So yeah, there is a difference. The persona non grata, I can say, okay, you're right. It's not really. It's just a fly by night term that they use here. Give you an example. They had that guy that did the whole Jesus thing, and he was a trans or gay or something, and he dressed up as Jesus, and it totally offended the Christian people, and he was persona non grata in a lot of cities. There was a whole thing about that for a while, and I believe he went in and out of the city without a problem and everything. It's not like they hunted him and locked him down and arrested him or anything. I think they might have initially arrested the guy. It's been a while since I've seen that story, but they've done it on vloggers too. But it just means they weren't to come. But if they're calling him undesirable and had it on the paperwork when they showed up, then therein lies the rub, is they were looking for a reason to have him leave. Oh, I think I already put that on there. Yeah, 10 days overstay. Yeah, some people have years, some don't do it at all. They're years behind. But why he would let that nip him in the butt during this occasion, holiday or not? Yeah, he slipped up. But isn't that how they always find them, mass you know, MRDRs or people that have been caught down the road? It's the simplest things that manage to get them for sure. Yes, the counselor is clout chasing, and so are several YouTubers. Sure, it's a business. Sure, stuff we really don't want to know if you can read between the lines, but stuff is worse of what's being talked about. Gotcha. Yeah. The overstay in his case wasn't a problem. Yeah, it was everything else. It was just probably his downfall and a reason to go get him. But they did call him, again, undesirable. Yes, they definitely have other plans. Right? Yeah. Oh, that's where you think he's going? Well, that's what they said. Isn't that where Vitelli is? He's over there at the Camp Bagong Daiwa, or however you say that. The New Spirit, the headquarters located in Lower Bicotan and Taguig. Uh, eh. Okay, well, there it is. Figured there'd be an update. So he's agreeing to deport. So he's going to deport himself. He's just going to leave before all the heat is coming. So, gotcha. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, just looking. I figured that was kind of what I said. So he's probably pretty lucky that they're doing that. Does he get a free flight out of the Philippines? Not that I'm to understand. As I'm to understand, they pay that themselves. The Philippines doesn't pay. As a matter of fact, when they took that one guy, I forgot what his name is already. I can never remember his name. What was the one where they nabbed him, and that was that beef between him and what's his name? God, without Georgia, I can't remember. But they kept him in there forever, and it was until he could get his ticket to get out. So, as I'm to understand, they have to pay. Gotcha, gotcha. I hear you. Yeah, he was calling girls puck puck based on their tattoos, and he was talking about anybody who don't date the single mothers because they've had sex with Filipinos. That's so gross. And he kept walking through out loud. That's so gross. So I was like, okay, yep. Mick Love and Wow. Nobody's ever heard that before, right? There are respectful vloggers walking around Duma going and doing live streams. They should stop because occasionally a pretty girl walks by. No, nobody said that either. That's a little different than panning, stopping, putting your hands on them, and doing the things he does. So the answer is no, but the best you can, if you're following the law, you're supposed to bleep these people out, or if they contact you, remove from that. But to pan in on children and talk to children is a no no. You just don't do that. If they're like in the background, because you'll see big vloggers that still have Filipinos in their shots. That's not it. But when you're actually focusing in on them, that's different. It takes a creep to support a creep. Hmm. If you give people a few pesos, who cares? 59 pesos, $1 he is paying. So the girls keep quiet as he exploits them. I think the ones he was getting through the dating site was just to do footage on them, and he went through like this whole dating thing with them and showed when they went to resorts, it would show different women in front of hotels and resorts. It's all over the internet. He's done everything. The lawyer wants him to leave because he knows they're going to crucify him like Batelli. Yeah. Well, it looks like he's going to self deport. Thank you. He was giving money away to get brownie points, and he was taking money as a brownie point from other vloggers to talk to his wife, or God knows what he did. But not the first person. Ball out until you fall out. There we go. George, if you rewatch this, there we go. We had to get some t-shirts. Ball out until you fall out. Ah, a girl from Dumagetti is coming to Angeles to see you. No, I didn't say that. I said she was coming on the live stream. We're going to bring her in. No, no. It's a girl that's already out there that has dated him from the site, and she's got information and everything. Gonna listen to her story. And there are others. It's hard saying who we can gather up before Saturday. The children and the people look disturbed. And then the other ones think they got some shot with an expat. So I call it totally disgusting and desperate. But it is what it is. There was even one that I seen recently where the father was there, and the girl looked to be about 18, and he's just going on with her about dating and foreigners and what would you think of a foreigner, and he was pointing her out to the other guys too, and the dad just sat there smiling, no problem. And I'm like, wow, okay. But I mean, who knows? Lots of expat heroes there. Build her a house type, right? Right. That I believe. When it all comes out, you'll be shocked. He's really a bad person on all fronts. That's what I'm hearing in the last 48 hours. 727. It's because the father of the baby is Korean. We haven't heard from the PNP yet. What are the chances he tries to do a video when he is released to save face? I don't know. I don't think he's that type. I don't think he's like the guys. Remind me who that guy was from Dumagetti and the other one. I can't even think of his name anymore. It's been so long since he got arrested and kicked out of the country. Myself and Meloman started at the same time, documenting at the same time, was verified verbally in text on each vlog. Wow. Well, good luck on that. So she'll have to get all of her paperwork, the baby, and get all the documents, banking, all that stuff together. It's not that easy. Looks like a nice gated home is up to rent. His nice, tall, secure brown gate. Yeah, he did that. He even mentioned it was because he had problems. Size the channel and its income, then gave it to the victims. Oh, seize it. I see. You mean seize the channel. Yeah, I doubt that happens. His insurance won't pay because he filmed himself on camera saying, sorry, boss, it's my fault. Ah, got caught by his own camera again. Yeah, that's crazy. He should have paid off the officials with all of his YouTube money. Yeah, they should have. I'll play this one more time as we're going through this. It's just showing some.
Yung magmadako pag itagpuan ma'am. Ato lang istoryahon. Kaya na eh. Ay naghatlo kay immigration.
Yeah, pretty much. Let me in, little pig. What's going on? It seemed like she was at some point. So hope he gave the socks to the poor. Yeah, there were some people out there. As I'm to understand, someone said it was overseas. It was going to his home country, and I'm sure it was, because you're not going to get a bank account as a tourist, and maybe he can put it in his wife's name, but they're saying that it wasn't, because if it went into his wife's name, if it's over a certain amount, or it's seen, they could see it as income, and then she would have to file taxes. It's hard saying. Out of the country. The deportation doesn't mean out of the city, it's out of the country. Because he probably knows it's coming. I mean, I'm sure he's even watched our channel, he's watched all the other channels. That's probably why he was half broken down, is he's been watching things. I mean, it's out there. What happened to old school vloggers like come to the Philippines, meet the Panays? Yeah, Panay gets pregnant, foreigners building house. Oh, they're still out there. They're most definitely out there and everything. So regular guy won't date older Filipinas. Wouldn't get the the Bonaroonie. uh, Roy and Ria's family channel. He's back in Oz, grafting, or are you saying grifting? She's building a house. Good channel. Grifting. For sure. I criticized him many times and reported him to YouTube numerous times. I sent emails to Dumaguete police. No one was interested. He is not a child abuser to many keyboard detectives. So, kind of missing that. Facts about that. No Muslim will show their body. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's for sure. 11, let's see. Mhm. Yanks really should learn how to say Muslim. Wonder why that is, because we're not saying Muslim. You're not saying it in a British way, the fact you call Yanks or Australian or whatever. How would you like to say that? Dental. Well, maybe pay for travel and lunch, right? Jolene and baby boy crying, saw on the vlogs. He wouldn't be able to leave the Philippines without getting an exit clearance anyways. There's a job at Jollibee's if she's interested. Could be a while. Some people could be a month, could be 2 months. If he has the money and his attorney takes care of it, could be a week. Hard saying. Usually it takes processing. Could be, yeah. Somebody remind me the name of that vlogger. I can't think of his name. The last one that we had discussed, but it's been about a year and a half, but it took him a while. He had to wait for paperwork, so he had to wait for proper channels, and it took a little bit, 2-3 months, I thought. Or was it 6 months? I can't remember how long he was in there. There's some now in there forever. Sim had once live Q&A and after none, since he had so many questions from his haters. Yes, in Estonia, he's a bum, and in the Philippines, he was a Dumaguete stud. Said he will make a formal apology on his channel. I don't know what that means, so you're saying, yeah, I'd like to see that. So we'll see Sim live on the airport on the day of deport. It's possible, very well possible. I seen a few comments on his channel that he was in the army and was supposed to go to the Ukraine, but he ended up becoming a Dodge drafter and escaped to the Philippines. Don't know if it's true or not. They will probably escort him to Cebu and he will be forced to fly out as no, I've never heard of them paying. It should be him paying. Okay, that's the second person that said that. Andrew, where did he say he'd make a public apology? Is that something on Facebook right now? I mean, I've been on this live now for 2.5 hours. So is that something new? So if you guys will let us know, let me know. Sim's next destination, Estonia, from Dumaguete, Cebu to Manila. And maybe he can go over there and look the ladies up, and then maybe a bunch of the Filipinos here would like to get a gander at his ladies over there. Well, I'd eat my shorts if he went around and did that over there. Hey, you wearing a bra there? Hey, are you this and that? Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think that's what's going on. Best results for Sim is to get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, Dodgy Dodge ASP, yeah. Immigration, passport information, international information on every customs and Estonia police waiting for him. It's possible he could arrive there, yeah. But he may, I don't know, that would be kind of rough if you think about staying here in a Filipino prison and going down for those charges or going back to his country because he's a Dodge drafter and avoided the war over there. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of that's I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oh, I probably did. It's not the first time. It just didn't mean we were ready to cover him. Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I think he is. Inappropriate, rude, all the above. Immigration system on Sim's passport. Every country has information, is scanning Sim's passport. Interesting. He has only overstayed. Nothing will happen to him. Nothing will happen to him in Estonia. Maybe not. He received new SD cards only a few months ago, so maybe the police already confiscated the first lot. You can't trust these lawyers. They don't come for you like, take all of your electronic gadgets. It's just overstaying. Now is the lawyers doing a PR job. Right. So that's not the whole deal. I mentioned earlier, every agency's after him right now. And so they're using that as the next stepping stone. They came in, they did take the gadgets and this and that. He probably lawyered up that day, I'm sure. And then it's all been like in a 72-hour window that this is all going down. So the old Philly Willie was almost defending him, saying he was just banned. Yeah, there's a few of them that seem to be on that side. So, but I don't know how he'd like that if that was his family. Any of the vloggers, I can't imagine uncles, or your grandmother, your daughters, your nieces, your cousins as females. You would not want them in America doing that. You don't want them here doing that. And it's just totally out there. And I'm calling that out. Vloggers doing walking street with cams, waist level. Yeah. Yep. And hidden cams on top of that. That poor child for the felines. Thanks, Hurley. Thanks. I can't believe Big Dog Strategies got away. Yeah, that was crazy. That guy. I don't know if you guys seen Big Dog Strategies. It was a channel that was at that time was only probably about 1,000 people. Came from California. I can't. I don't even want to get into that guy. That's a whole nightmare. But yeah, that was a bad situation too. Doesn't have to go to Estonia. Thailand would be fine. I'm sure that they're not. Usually, when you're kicked out of a country, they usually do not allow you. You have to self deport back to your country. They don't let you just go off somewhere else. So it would not be normal. Usually, they have to deport to their country. So the embassy, his embassy's already been contacted. All this, if it is what's being said, then yeah, he would have to. He could leave and go back there afterwards. So the guy who stole the money from the hospital, etc. Zoom, yeah, Zoom, World Zoom. Thank you, Victoria. World Zoom. And supposedly it was over previous charges. He still had charges, the passport thing, and it went around in a circle on that. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Victoria. Hey, what's going on? I sent you a message about another expats medical issue. Foreigners need to know stuff like that. Thanks, Cindy. Let's see. Was that the one recently? It's probably the one I'm thinking about. It did not come up, Cindy. Is that the one that maybe it's the one I've been talking about? Is that the one that's being held at the hospital that's in a coma situation and he's on the American news? Is that the one? Because he can't leave when he's in a coma. But yes, we'll be covering this probably come Monday or Wednesday or something of next week. But it didn't come up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. No, it's not coming up. I'll have to try later. In his video, he takes money out of a Europe account. He mentions about the foreign fees. He's a scumbag. A self-deport is different. World Zoom. Hey, Yellow Horse. Happy New Year. He did say while they were reading him his rights that he had already had a plane ticket to leave the country or to go to Manila. Or that's what I was curious. I thought he was talking about going somewhere to handle some immigration, not to leave the country. I heard that part, but I thought it was to go here in the Philippines somewhere. You shouldn't just turn him loose to start somewhere else. I'm sure Vitelli would like a new cellmate. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he said where. I'm also from Europe, but from Germany. Good job, Heidi. Warn perverts from coming to the Philippines. Finally, after decades, they are being stopped. Yeah, he's from Estonia. Estonia is a member of the NATO. NATO has nothing to do with Ukraine or Russia. These are facts. Anyone that supports the creep is a creep. Everyone in the Philippines thinks I'm an American soldier. I look like Lieutenant Dan. Not correct. You can go any country he wants to after being deported as long as the country will allow entry. Okay. Different because it's a self-deport. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. It's longer than I thought it would actually be. And thought I would update you guys on this. A lot of good information given, a lot of comments, and I appreciate you guys being here. So we are still on for a Saturday live stream in a couple days, unless something else comes up. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys, and It's beyond my bedtime. After 11:30.